Hello, everybody. Welcome to Football Tonight. Here, brought to you by TopFCTV. It's me, Chris, and Laurent Courtines. Of course, this is our show, weekly show, where we talk all the nonsense that's happened this weekend. And boy, we
What
got to talk about this match.
bananas what a
Yes,
bananas week.
yes. What a week! We actually started
Yeah.
pretty. I mean, with a game that had a lot of controversy in Newcastle Arsenal, and we ended with even a crazier match than we expected today.
No,
So,
nuts.
but before we start,
Yes.
please hit the like button, subscribe,
Yes.
share, comment, because I do want to know exactly what you think of what's happened today with Chelsea, Spurs, Liverpool not being able to beat Luton in Luton Town. Oh my gosh, Liverpool, what's going on? And we're gonna talk about Darwin Nunez, of course. You've seen my take, and a lot of people have been coming at me because of what I said about Nunez, and I'm going to explain and I'm going to corroborate what I said. I'm going to stay firm because I do believe what I said. And on top of that, we're going to talk Arsenal. We're going to talk everything going on this weekend. So,
Mhm.
Laurent, go ahead, give us the scores, man.
Oh, gotta do the scores. Here we go. Put a minute on the clock that we don't have. The first game of the week was Fulham 0, Manchester United 1. They were still terrible, but Fernandez bailed them out. They get the 1-0 win. They had a goal taken off for offside. That was the first VAR incident of the day. Then the Kings of London, secretly the best team in London. Brentford 3. They defeat West Ham. Mohamed Kudus with some killer goals, but Brentford show the resilience, score, get the win, and the comeback, winning 3-2 at the GMEX. Then Count Doku destroys Bournemouth. We have a new star on our hands for Manchester City. Doku, a goal and 4 assists. I think Grealish may never play again. Then my beloved Wolves and Gary O'Neill lose on another late penalty in the box. But Paul Heckenbottom and his mighty Blades of Sheffield United get off the schneid, get their first win of the season, winning 2-1 at their park. And Burnley, oh, poor Vincent Company, winless at home, setting the record for futility to start the season. 0-6 at home. Uncle Woy and his boys from Palace win it 2-0. Everton won, Brighton won. Dyche meets De Zerbi in a clash of styles. Everton gets their goal early. Brighton gets theirs. And another amazing goal. Lewis Dunk's volley on the cross. VAR chalked it off. So no cool win for Brighton. They're winless in 5. And your beloved Magpies win 1-0 to Arsenal in what was a war and a great game. Really enjoyable. Don't let VAR ruin it. Then Palace 2-0 against Aston Villa. Unai Emery's revolution hits a bump as Steve Cooper and his men, the Tricky Trees, the merry Nottingham Forest, do get the win, and they continue. Then more relegation battlers. Luton Town are 15 minutes away from the win. Oh, what a break it was. Liverpool didn't show up. Darwin Nunez missed goals, but Luton do get the draw from the narrative because narrative has to happen. Diaz with the goal in honor of his father. Then today, 9-man Tottenham Hotspur, who were up a goal in this game, remember, lose at home 1-4 to Chelsea in a game that will be remembered as the second battle of Stamford Bridge, even though it wasn't at Stamford Bridge. And those are your Premier League scores. Where do you want to go, Chris?
All right, man. We got to talk about this match today, boy. Oh my
Mm.
goodness, my goodness. Shout out to Culture with Reno that says, "What's going on, guys?" Shout out to you, my brother. Thank you
Hey.
for being on the chat. Please have your say. Leave the comment. Leave us a comment and tell us what you think about today's week.
For
what's happening
sure,
in the
for
week,
sure.
and of course, yeah, man. We got to talk about Spurs Chelsea. It's been what a match. I think that VAR, willing or not willing, wanting to or not wanting to, they were the man of the match. I mean, because honestly, man, I have not seen, amidst everything that happened with Arsenal Newcastle, what we're going to get into, they wanted to be the protagonists more than ever, you know, in my opinion, man, because they were just looking at every play every single thing for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. I'm like, dude, let things go, man. It's
They
going
couldn't.
nuts. I cannot believe, and I'm telling you more than ever now, I believe that if you are at home, playing at home, man, it's a killer if they pause the game. And because Spurs was going at Chelsea's neck. And I thought, man, this is about to end bad for Chelsea.
Yeah,
You
they were
know,
getting killed.
and then and then, to be fair, before the penalty, before the Romero situation,
Oh
that's
god.
another subject. We're just gonna have to hammer him,
Right.
deservingly so. But like, actually, I've seen a few positive things from Chelsea. Those two goals that were annulled. I mean, even though they were rightly
Yeah.
canceled off, there were still nice plays by Chelsea. So I'm
Oh
not
yeah, the
just gonna.
Caicedo goal was great.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure Spurs would love to have given up that goal instead of had their whole team collapse because of it.
Exactly. And then, of course, the Romero thing. We're gonna go, piece by piece. But what did you think of the very beginning of this match? I mean, Spurs looked like they were coming straight, out of the
Yeah, I
box.
think, Spurs came out. They knew what happened on the weekend. They had to defend home serve. They knew that everybody had won, and they had an opportunity to be the showcase match. I mean, this is Monday Night Football. This is Sky. This is Gary Neville. This is Jamie Carragher. This is the show. This
Yeah,
is the Spurs' chance to come in and be like, puff out their chest, go at Chelsea, their biggest city rivals. My friend Fred, who doesn't watch the show because he finds me to be annoying. He joined our thread for 5 minutes and left immediately, but he's a huge Chelsea fan. His most hated rival are Spurs. He hates Spurs, and Spurs fans hate Chelsea. So we saw it come. It had the energy, and Spurs were going to win this game. They were
yeah,
after it. They showed fire. They showed everything that we've seen with Postecoglou already. That joyful high line, fullbacks bombing forward, and Chelsea a good team, good defensive team in general, but they could not break it down, and then the whole thing just fell apart. So the first 20 minutes were as expected. Spurs a better team, the young Chelsea battling their way through, and we wanted to find something out about what Chelsea were made of, and we did in an effort at just before the incidents went on. Chelsea were putting pressure. They did get the goal from Caicedo to level
nice
the
goal, by the way.
score. But
It was a nice shot
it
too.
was a really nice goal. I didn't get to quite catch the first 10 minutes. So what was the Tottenham goal?
Um, Kulusevski, it was
Okay,
actually
Kulusevski.
he shot it hit a Chelsea defender, went in, but
Okay,
that was just a result of
pressure.
Spurs coming out of the gate, just willing to kill.
Yeah,
And so I mean, I know it was a kind of a fluke, but at the end of the day, it was
it was
a
deserved
surge.
from the work they were doing. So, but
Yeah,
I caught it just as things went nutty. So Caicedo, they're putting pressure, shots all over the place. The goal goes in, and we have already a couple of VARs. I think that Chelsea had missed a goal or Spurs had a goal chalked off. The flag was late, really late. They were already in the corner celebrating as a group, and the flag goes up. I was listening on NBC here in the US, and John Champion is just like, I'm had it. I hate VAR. I mean, his whole commentary was like, what are we doing? They're ruining this game. So we have the VAR check, and at first it's for offside. I'm like, okay, it's offside. Fine. It was close, right? The Caicedo offside goal because there was a header on it. Then we see Romero had already probably could have gotten booked, really puts his studs through on Enzo Fernandez as a clearance. He'd already cleared the ball, but we do find out through the whole process of going through it. So the goal gets choked off. We now get a red card and a penalty that my boy Cole Palmer puts away. But it took eons to figure this thing out because they're going through multiple checks at once. And the announcers for NBC are older guys. They're kind of like me or older. And just like the exacerbation of just like, what are we doing? This is killing football. Even
and
though the Romero call is right,
yeah,
it's
but it
still
doesn't.
awful.
But it doesn't have to take that long, man. You can see it. I mean, 5, 6 minutes, no way they're looking at this for 5 minutes. No way whatsoever. I mean, like, maybe they're skeptical of just saying, "Look, we're gonna take this guy out, and it's gonna," because that could happen. That could come into somebody's mind. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, man, you got to call it for what it is. It's his fault. You know what I'm saying? It's
Oh,
Romero's
they got
100%.
all the calls right. I understand that, but I'm gonna do this because I like to do this and bother. I'm blaming Liverpool because of that Diaz goal in that game against Spurs. We now have an over checking on VAR. I blame you, Spurs. I
But
blame you. I blame you and Liverpool for making us all suffer because you messed up a stupid offside goal. And now we all have to go through this constant 5 minutes, 6 minute calls. It's unreal. They're
yeah.
checking everything.
You can't have multiple calls. Like, one is okay, but you can't have, like, they were just stopping the game. They were looking. What do they call it? Like, like possible aggression. Like, man, shut the hell
Unreal.
up,
It was
man.
madness.
Yeah, it's getting out of control, and all it's doing is adding more conspiracy theories, more
It,
insecurity to the game.
it this is the thing. It's degrading. And Postecoglou said this after the games. It was really an interesting thing. He was like, something to the effect of, you're undermining the authority of the referees
Yeah, they.
because nobody believes them. And now the
Yeah,
referees are afraid to referee the game, right?
yeah,
They're like, well, I just wait for VAR. Oh, you can't, he literally said, what are we going to end up with? Just guys refereeing the game from a video park? We can't have
right.
that. The guys on the field have to make the call. I thought this again on the Udogi, on the second player sent off. Was the challenge that Udogi made a yellow card offense? Probably. Could the
Well,
referee
I,
have
oh,
gotten away with not doing it so that they wouldn't go down to 9?
I saw
Yes!
your. I don't know if you tweeted it or what,
I
but
did, I tweeted it.
I will not agree on that, because if it is a second yellow, bro, you got to call it. I mean, you can't just say you know what I mean? It is, but you can't call that. There's no way. You got to call
I
it.
I don't agree. I think that the refer and this is a bit more controversial. I think that this is a little bit of a different take. The laws of the game are called laws and not rules because they are to be interpreted by the referee who's on the field at the game. They are laws for him to adjudicate the game and see out justice in the context of a game. If he feels
Yeah, but
that
if it
he can get
is,
no, I don't agree with that.
so
I
you telling
don't
me that, but you can't give the referee the power to manipulate, because then that referee is not going to be the same as another referee. So now all of a sudden you got all
That's
these
right.
crazy
The
ass plays.
referee is not they don't ref the games the same.
Yeah, but then that gives them more power to just
But they
do.
do have a lot of power. That's
Yeah,
the
they do.
thing. But just like a judge has a lot of power, they don't always apply and interpret the rules the same way all the time. Yes, murder is murder and you go to jail for it. But if
Right.
a woman kills her husband because he beat her up for 10 years, she doesn't go to jail forever. Do you know what I mean? Like, so in this case, we have a game where Udogi is exhausted. Udogi just made a play. Spurs are down to 9, and you have a spectacle that's going on where I don't think Chelsea win this game if they don't have 2 men up.
Yeah,
Spurs would have
I will
won.
say that. But then
And
that's a
so by giving that advantage, you essentially end the game.
yeah.
It was over. There was no way. Even though
No,
Dyer could have scored a
but what?
goal
Yeah, well,
and Son could have scored a
that's the
goal.
crazy part, and that's when we're gonna get into the we can get into the football part, because why is Chelsea not able to beat depleted Spurs until the very last minute?
And
Because
Van
that
de
for
Ven
one is the
off,
most.
Madison off, Van de Ven and Romero, arguably the best defensive pair in the league
Yeah,
right now
no,
because of
that
how
was.
much they have to cover,
But
right?
no, but
They're
let me just
carrying
put
a
a
high
let me
line.
put a pause on that. Romero cannot do that.
No, he's a
And he's
loser.
been doing it
I
consistently.
know.
If and you're gonna think that you're gonna be considered one of the best defenders, because that's
No,
part of being a
he's
defender
a
is not
local
doing
man.
that crap.
He's crazy.
Well,
He
he's
hadn't
got to
called
fix
this
it.
year.
He's got
I
to
know, he
fix it,
does. Yeah.
because this
He
is what
almost broke his
happens.
leg. He could have broke his leg easily.
Yeah, he could have. Who, I don't know who was
It was
the.
Fernandez who got
Oh
nailed.
yeah, Enzo, and his
Mhm.
own national teammate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
The hell?
he's a madman.
Okay. But yeah, I think to be honest with you, I think it deserves more of culpability in this
Oh, he'll
match. I mean,
get 3 games for that.
but yeah, that's anybody's gonna get, like anybody that sees that, he'll get that. I get it. But I'm talking about from Postecoglou, and I believe that he will put him aside and tell him, look, you cannot do this crap, man. You know what I mean? You cannot, like, I'm like, for real, have a conversation. And of course, they have a misfortune of getting Van de Ven, who is, like I've
Oh,
said,
man.
like
So
probably
good.
one of the best signings aside from Doku this season. You can
And
say
Madison.
Madison, you can say
Mhm.
Madison, but you see what I'm saying. But two of those come out, for
Yeah.
Spurs.
Well, I think Madison's probably gonna be okay.
Yeah, and I think, and yeah, I do agree with that because I think that it was more like Postecoglou said, it's just a little inch that he needed to just fix
Mhm.
whatever
Mhm.
was happening. Just take Madison out, which,
I mean,
but
it was so compelling. It was so much like, listen, I can't say that I watch all of Serie A and all of La Liga and all of the Bundesliga, but there's not games like this. This was
yeah,
madness. It was insane.
no,
I mean,
it was
just from a
crazy.
drama perspective, it was crazy.
No, but you got to admit it was crazy the first half. The second
Yes.
half, it was more like, I think both managers said, "Listen, guys," I think they had the same speech. Basically, we got to calm down. We got to stop responding. We got to
Right.
stop,
But Spurs kept playing the high line.
and
They
that was
were
a mistake.
way
And that
It
was a
was a
mistake.
mistake, but it made it exciting because every once in a while there'd
Well,
be 5
no, because
Chelsea players running at goal, and Vicario was incredible.
you can sit back and say, you know what, we're gonna be smart with it. We go because our counterattacks, Spurs counterattacks. I'm not saying ours. I'm talking about um, what Postecoglou would say is like their counterattacks are good. Like so, in what's crazy, that goal by Dyer. I mean,
I know,
it was
so
gonna be
close.
mayhem. I'm telling you this. I don't know if
So
I don't
crazy.
know. I don't know that if Spurs would have tied, let alone win, because that would have been.
Oh,
I
it's
think
bad.
that Pochettino deserved to get a look
He
at.
would have gotten fired. He would have just, "I have to leave.
Dude,
I'm done. I
that
gotta
could
get out
not
of here."
that's a Yamai, what's up, my brother? As a
Yeah.
neutral, one of the best games I've seen in a while, absolute chaos. And it was entertaining. It was
It
entertaining to
was
see.
nuts.
It was nuts. It was unbelievable. But at
Yeah,
the
but
end of
the
the day,
reason for that entertainment factor is because Spurs is playing a high line. Because if they turn you over, they're already there. Even
yeah,
with 9, I mean, Son, how close was Sonny to leveling that game
yeah.
before
And
the
shout out to
goals
Son
late in the
because
game?
he was trying so hard to tie
He's the
this
best.
game. And
He's
he's
the
an
best.
unbelievable player. He's an unbelievable. He really
This
is.
is the thing that I always think about with Son. I'm like, if he was not Asian or something. I don't know what it is about it. It's actually a fact that happened with Jeremy Lin. He should have be at Real Madrid in that number 9 spot because we watch Joselu, he's a bum. Son would
Yeah.
score all those goals.
Yeah, no, he was terrific. But at the end of the
So
day,
good.
man, and then and not 9 players is just impossible. But they
And
almost made it possible, which was
they were
nuts.
playing
But
suicide
that
football.
just speaks of Chelsea's mishaps. Chelsea
Oh god, they're
is
bad.
really tough to watch, man. How and Jackson, I know got a hat trick, got the ball, I'm sure, but that
Oh, but
must be,
I mean they were tap-ins basically, right? They were just
yeah,
on the break.
just counterattacks, a
But
depleted team.
Ricardo Guglielmo, he was incredible. He made some bonkers saves with 4
Yeah,
guys charging at him, the whole Chelsea going at him.
yeah,
Chelsea, they get the win. This goes on the books as a 4-1 win, and it looks good. And they're going to have a high XG, and everything's going to say that this was a good win. This was not a good win for Chelsea. They really could have lost. They really should have lost. And I don't think
you think they should have lost though?
at 11v11, they're not winning this game
Yeah,
because
but
the
you
force of
think
Spurs,
are you gonna go as far as saying that Chelsea deserved to lose?
they didn't
Think
deserve
about
to
it.
lose.
Think about it.
But they didn't create anything that wasn't some ridiculous
No,
break
it's
where
a
the
yeah, no, it was nuts how they just couldn't, like, they
couldn't
should have
create
gotten
anything.
this game over the hump,
Yeah,
like win this game, beat 3-1,
should
uh,
have been easy.
probably in the beginning of the second half. I'm serious. Like, I mean, and I will give this, I keep forgetting his name,
Ooh,
that played in every big club in Premier League, Sterling.
oh,
He had a nice game. And Cucurella, oh my god.
he's terrible.
Cucurella, man, he had a chance to just take over, like just give it to Sterling, and this match would have been easier for Chelsea. And he
No.
doesn't give. He tries to
Well, I
score.
mean, they don't have good finishers. No,
Oh,
Raheem
they
Sterling does
have
a lot of good
nobody.
things, but finishing is not one of them.
but he
Jackson
was actually
Martinez.
one of somebody
Why
that
do I
was
get his
actually
name?
creating.
Nicholas Jackson, sorry.
Yeah,
He's always like, you never feel safe with him, and we can go into bad finishing. We can transition into your guy Nunez, but I mean,
yeah.
Chelsea are just a
What a
mess
tough.
with
Yeah,
bad finishing. But a
what a
great
tough match.
game and worth like a smile and a joy and just like
No, it was an unbelievable game, and it was the game
insane.
of the week, to say the least.
It
Um,
takes your
then
boys off the back takes Arsenal off the
we
headlines.
because we had it,
Really.
man. Our match was the match of the week, but trust me, I'm glad we won, and I guess we can jump into that one and talk about
Yeah.
Newcastle and
But that
Arsenal.
yeah, I
Um,
mean, I talked about it yesterday. I went on a whole I don't even remember what I said, honestly. But just, the I loathe VAR. I don't like how it takes away the moments. I don't like what's going on with it. I don't think it's working right now, specifically in England. It's really not working. And then
yeah,
in this case, Arteta lost his mind and is tripling down on it when in fact, even though the goal was called and then they did the whole thing, ultimately they got it right. Aside, I mean, the push we can argue about.
yeah.
That's fine.
Well, actually, the more I see the
Oh,
push, I know
your
that
mic went off. I don't hear
oh,
you.
you don't hear me? Do you
Anyway,
hear me?
I can't
No,
hear you. I can't
I,
hear Chris right now. But the push was a little bit wild.
what?
Um,
I
I'm
think
not
you.
sure what happened there. I
Let me see.
can't hear Chris. I'm not sure if I can hear us
Hello,
on
hello,
the
hello.
check on the live
Yeah,
stream
actually,
see
I
if the
think it's
live
you.
has
I think it's
sound.
you.
But I
It's
have to
definitely you.
check
So reboot.
right now. Things are just a little bit wacky.
Yeah, but no.
If
I don't know why
everything
he
is
can't hear me. To be honest with you,
smoothly,
but
but
I'm gonna
in the
tell him to
live stream,
reboot.
the the play around the push is just crazy. And I think that Gabriel ultimately was leaning down. He was trying to get his body in front of the ball, and ultimately he
Yeah, I don't know if Laurent is able to listen. Man, I'm texting him so he can reboot because it's his side that's doing that. But you can actually hear both of us. So to be honest, I don't know why on the live chat, but obviously he can't hear me. So I'll just tell him I'll just tell him to reboot. But at the end of the day, we're going to talk about that Newcastle game. Please smash the like button. Let's get the stream to more people. Don't jump out. We just had a little technical difficulty. Do you hear me, Laurent?
yes,
Okay, we're good. So but Newcastle Arsenal, to be honest with you, yeah, I mean, I think it was now that I think it was a push off that Joe Linton had. Um in the beginning, I thought that it was actually, but you just don't know. Even though you watch it, I don't want to see pictures. I'm tired of seeing pictures. I'm
no,
tired of seeing pictures.
pictures are
Pictures don't.
bullshit.
Pictures are
Yeah,
bullshit, straight up. I know
yeah,
people are a lot of content creators put a picture just to get likes and say, "It
yeah.
was this
I
a
get it.
foul or was not? Did they deserve to get a red
No,
card?"
whatever. It
No, that's
doesn't matter.
bull crap. But
So
yeah, I mean, I mean, you can argue with that and say that was a push off. Has Newcastle been benefited in the last? I mean, the penalty that they for that they for Wolves, or that the Wolves supposedly
yeah,
kicked.
they got they did the one on
That
Sharp
that
by
wasn't, yeah, that
Chang. That's not a
Longstaff.
yeah,
That wasn't a penalty. Did they get benefited? Yeah, you can say though in those two plays, but the ball didn't come out. The ball didn't
yeah.
go out the other thing. But at the end of the day, man, it's so little for Arsenal to look at that. And what Arteta did, it was just
Make an
shameful, man.
excuse.
Shameful, man. Like, I'm so embarrassed to be in this country, in this league. Then get your ass out. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I
Like
think it.
that's some bull crap. You don't have
I
to go
agree.
that far. And
I agree.
so, but like again, Arsenal have no way of, like, they couldn't penetrate
No.
Newcastle. When they had the ball, it was Magpies just going to whoever had the ball and just
Yep.
peck the ball out of them. And
I think the key
yeah,
thing to remember though is back there. That's Lascelles and Shar. That's the defensive pairing that was in the freaking championship,
right.
finishing 15th. That's not some like badass defensive unit. That's coaching. Shar has been good with Botman, but that's Jamal Lascelles, who couldn't get in the team, stayed with the club, wanted to be captain. Listen, this is a top level championship level defender, bottom of the Premier League division. But he plays for the shirt and he gave it all and he took no crap from anyone. And they kept him as captain because I think that within the Newcastle United dressing room, within that sort of keeper of the intelligence, of just like, hey, remember where we came from. This is a privilege. He's embodying that. And there's a lot of guys embodying that. Even, what's his name?
Murphy. That was tough.
That right. He came on, he gave his coach, I can go. And he
But
got hurt.
I thought
But
that
he
was a
gave it a
mistake, though.
shot. No, but sure. But he wanted to play. He wanted to play, and he's clearly dislocated his shoulder. But so many different things. I think Inter's making a good point, right? Like Bruno should have been sent off. Havertz should have been sent off. The Bruno thing, he went full freaking South American style.
Yeah, he should have been sent off
Romero,
as well.
Bruno, these guys that they're where football is life and death. Sometimes it comes out in these games, and if you don't catch them, they'll keep going. Like he should have been gone. I mean, he threw a flying elbow.
Well, and then he had another
a push, and then one in the neck. I mean, it's just like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It just but that can't you're right. But Arsenal had one shot the whole 90 minutes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? How are you supposed to
You can't
compete for a title like that?
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I think there's a lot of credit to be given to both teams. Really good fight, really strong.
It was
a lot of
pretty
effort.
tough match.
Yeah,
it was a physical match. But then again, though, Laurent, if you play a physical match with Newcastle, more than likely you're gonna lose because I have not seen a team, and I'm talking about just gladiators, just freaking wrestlers out. Joelinton, a beast. I'll be honest with you. That's why I was like, it was a push off, wasn't a push off because. You know what I'm saying? Like it just seemed like Gabriel bounced off of him.
In the context of that game, that was being allowed. That's what I mean by that referee statement I was making earlier. If they call that in the context of that game, it doesn't make sense. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a goal doesn't mean you change the way. If you've been reffing the game that way, play on.
Right.
Because Gabriel was stooping and he was trying to do one of those like flip up headers and he got pushed and whatever. But he was already going down. I'm fine with the goal. Your boy Anthony was a killer. I thought, Callum Wilson, and credit to Arsenal too. Like Rice was incredible in this game. Saliba battling with Joelinton. Gabriel was also fantastic on many plays. Just a really good game. Not much to write about from football perspective, but it was one of those games you kind of had to be there. If you watched it, you're like, whoa, this is different.
No, and I'm gonna tell you this though, more than ever, I have not seen before as many YouTubers, fan channels, pundits, journalists talk about St. James's Park and how it's almost lethal to rivals. Everybody was like, "Yeah, but you're going to St. James's Park. Yeah, but a tie wouldn't have been bad. You're going to St. James's Park." Like I was like, "Damn, I don't, you know what I mean? Like I get it, and it's unbelievable. Trust me, I'm sure." Being in there, it's chaotic. But the respect that people give that ground, it's unbelievable to see. And I mean, for them, a tie would have been good enough. So that's why they argue the point that that shouldn't have been a goal because we would have been tied and that wouldn't have been a bad deal.
But it was their fault. Right. Havertz flying in, that crowd was
now
dead.
That would have been
Arsenal had taken them out. It was over. They had ridden through the difficult part of the game. And Havertz, that dumb bastard, because he's bad, goes in, flies in, and creates the crowd. He created the cauldron. The whole thing changes after that. And then Newcastle like, oh, it's on? We're playing like this? Right. Let's do it.
Yeah, no,
that's
that
when
was
Bruno starts running around pushing people. And that's when they get the 3 yellows. And the whole thing changes after that was a mistake. Slide.
That was a mistake by Arsenal because, and you could see, I don't know who it was, but they were just an Arsenal player just pulling everybody, just keeping their composure because the more they were trying to be tough guys, the more the crowd got into it, and you're not going to win that match. because
I I
eventually, again, like you said, the Havertz.
I
You know what
don't
I'm saying?
know, and I don't know enough about world football, and I love it, and it feels great. Does only England get like that, where it's just like the tackles mean more than anything? I feel like in Spain they're not like that. They don't like that. That's not how they play.
Well, it happens more in South America than anything. Like they
Yeah,
love that
yeah,
crap.
yeah.
In St. James's Park, they'll cheer for a tackle, you know,
Yeah, it's
like a
awesome.
goal, which is nuts.
Yeah.
But
Well, but we should transition to a game that actually had goals
yeah,
because
yeah,
most of
you
these
we can go
games
to
didn't
City if
have
you
any
want to.
goals. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just want to give a shout out to Jeremy Doku. City just annihilated Bournemouth
I've
6-1.
said that he is the best signing of this
Yeah, yeah,
of this
yeah. I mean,
season.
but I think the key question is, does Grealish play again? Because now
Well,
you have Foden, now you have Doku, and Grealish does not give assists or goals. He's this guy who is supposed to go past people, but really he just stands there and
yeah,
stutters on one foot and lets everyone get collected. And I know that there's this concept of the pausa that Pep Guardiola really likes, but in terms of direct attack, fight, just go and kick ass. I mean, Doku is something else. Now, it was against Bournemouth. What does he do against Real Madrid? What does he do against a great fullback? What does he do? What does he do? Luckily, he's never going to have to.
now
He's
go
never
ahead.
going to have to go against Kyle Walker on a regular basis. But I mean, right now, would Real Madrid rather have Doku than Vinny?
Nah, you're playing too much. Nah, you shut the hell up, man.
4
Vinicius,
assists and a
they just
goal.
re, they just
And the
renewed
goal
Vinicius.
by
So
Bernardo was killer. The crossfield pass, Bernardo on the run, all the field open, and the chip over the keeper. Just City putting themselves right where they're supposed to be. I had been worried that they weren't going to score. Now Holland got an ankle done, but City are so deep, they might play better without him, with Alvarez up top. Then they don't have this problem because they'll just play Doku, Foden, and Grealish all together with Alvarez, and we'll see what happens. But City just cruise. It was easy, but it was still cool to see because Doku, I just started giggling. I was like, this is what St. Maximin thinks he's supposed to be. But he's somewhere in Saudi Arabia pulling on his braids and putting more wristbands
no,
on and headbands.
but yeah, I said it before on other channels that yeah, he reminds me of Saint Maximin, but so
But
far
good.
so far he can finish. So yeah, that's but yeah, I mean 6-1, man. What can you expect? Now Bournemouth is the next team that Newcastle plays, so you know that they're gonna miss Bruno
Away?
Guimaraes. I think well, yeah, it might be away.
Yeah, because they would have just
Yeah,
been home.
right.
That's a long trip.
So that's not gonna be yeah, but you know, a weaker team, so you know,
Mm,
so we should be okay.
mhm.
But
But you got to go to Dortmund this week.
this weekend with Adornment and Dan Byrne, I've tweeted this and I said people don't understand how important he is for the system.
He's awesome.
People
I
think
love
he's just he's
a
just a guy.
goon.
He's like, oh come on, he's just a Frankenstein with cleats. Like no man, he's really important because for wings when Trippier and well in this
They go.
case
They
uh,
become a three.
when they go then you know what I'm saying they become three center backs that are
Mhm.
they can't get past. So now
Listen,
it's more than likely Trippier
tell
going to
me
be on the
about
left
Dan
side.
Burn. He comes from my beloved Brighton. I know all
Right.
about Dan Burn. He's a legend.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Lewis says that was one hell of a game
Oh,
for the. Oh,
sorry.
let me read that.
I lost it. What'd
Come
I
on,
do?
brother. Let me
Oh,
have it. That was one
there you
hell of a game for the Spurs Chelsea game. Chelsea game. Yeah, man. We talked about it in the beginning. It was really crazy for the neutral, and I'm sure both are. Well, maybe Chelsea are happy. Maybe not, to be honest, because I don't know if they got anything to be happy
No,
about
they're
other than the
happy.
first,
They're happy. They're,
other
they're
than the
going to
three
convince
points.
themselves that they're happy, and they beat Spurs. They'll be happy.
Nah, well, okay. It
I
says
mean,
Chris, this is good information for you. Michael Oliver was the referee for the game, and he is a Newcastle fan. That's nonsense. And because look, I respect your lawyers and I appreciate you giving me that info. And okay, it is it's fine. But when I've seen that everywhere else too. But when people put that out there, they have a malicious intent. And even if I know this is crazy. It's gonna sound crazy, but even if I know the referee is a fan, I know that doesn't for the majority of people it doesn't look good. But I can't look at somebody and think, oh, this guy's gonna rob me because of this and that. You know, yeah, is it good for it to come out? If it is true, I don't know. Then no, it's not. But man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see a professional. What? So he's a Newcastle fan, so he just doesn't want to work no more. He wants to give Newcastle 3 points, but he just wants to be. You know what I mean? I don't believe in that. So, Yaman says crazy. Like, wasn't it? As just as many disallowed goals as actual goals.
Yeah,
Yeah, how
good
many
one.
disallowed? 3 disallowed goals, or
Well,
was it 4?
Caicedo and then one before, and then
And then
the
the
Dyer
Spurs.
one and the Sonny one.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
Sonny was offside. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
Sonny was offside. Yeah. He's right, man. He's right. He's right. He
Uh,
can referee on Newcastle's games. But
yeah, I
anyways,
don't know.
yeah. So City, man, right now, even though they're
Top
not
of
at
the
the
league.
best, even though they're not at the best, I actually made a video with another YouTuber,
I
and
know. I saw that. Very excited. I can't wait to meet him.
yeah, and so I mean, he was like, yeah, we're depleted to a certain extent, but still the best. So
Yeah, City now top of the league. We've now have the standings. City are top of the league on
yeah.
27 with the best defense in the league. Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa make the top 4, and then your mob in 6th place on 20. So you're right there. You're only 7 points off the top, 2 points off the Champions League. I think for Spurs, right? You're 4 points off the Champions League. For Newcastle, it's Champions League and maybe a trophy if you're lucky. Maybe get to the knockout
Well,
rounds.
I think it needs to be the Carabao Cup. I
Are you
think that
still
should
in
be
it?
yeah. What do you mean we're
Okay.
still in it?
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
beat us.
yeah, man. Beat you and then beat United. What do you mean? Man, you need to
Uh,
stay up on your football news, man.
Listen,
I
man,
know.
I watch a lot of football. We do 3 shows a week, man. I don't know my head from my elbow.
Um, but yeah. I think that should be as far as title. Newcastle needs a title, man. Newcastle needs a
It will
title.
mean
So
it will mean so
I think the
much.
Carabao Cup is
It
it,
would
and we
mean
need to go for it.
so much. 1955 is the last trophy, right? Except for some other
In 60 something, I think. But I mean,
anyway,
to be
doesn't
fair, in the 90s, or no,
w-
actually
two
2006,
Two FA
we
Cup finals.
no 2006. I think we won the something UEFA something. I think it's like a cup made up cup.
The
But
Inter Friars Cup.
yeah, it was Inter something. It was Inter something. But yeah. It says Newcastle is only a team in the Premier League still on for a treble.
Hey!
Ah,
No,
a
City are on
quadruple,
a
I mean.
quadruple. Yeah, City are on
Well,
for a
actually,
trouble.
because we still got
We
no,
haven't done the
no,
FA Cup
cities
yet.
on the treble, yeah, on the treble, yeah. But
Quadruple, yeah. Good luck with
the
that.
city would
Dude,
never sleep for weeks
ask
if we won the
Liverpool what
bloody
it's like
trophy.
to try and go for a quadruple. It destroys your season. Don't do it. It's poison chalice. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't try and win everything.
What other
What other
teams?
games?
Oh, Manchester United. Manchester United beating none other than the powerful Fulham at the end with Bruno Fernandes. A lot of controversy on Fernandes. People don't like him. People like him.
I can't.
But at the end, I
I mean,
think
I
he's just.
shouldn't stand him. I can't stand him.
I think he's their best hope, though.
Oh, he is definitely their best player.
Yeah,
But
like you know what I mean. Like
the
at this point,
whining, the teeth, the face,
yeah,
everything about him. He's the most punchable face of any player in the division by
yeah. I
far.
don't.
And I think we can get a consensus around all the teams. If there's a player you want to punch in the face in the Premier League, he's definitely in the top 3. Who else would
Right.
be in the list of guys you want to punch in the face?
Yeah. No, he is annoying, but I don't know that. I mean, again, if you're a United fan for right
Oh, you don't
now, I
want
mean,
him to
you
be
just got to
punched.
write it out. People don't like him though. They're like, I want him out. I want him this. But what I look, I understand that some fans will have
Oh,
an emotional.
Jack Grealish is probably number 1 for punch people who want to punch him in the
Well,
face.
like again, I think it's okay for people to be emotional when it comes to their club, but a lot of times you need to use your head, man. It's a Ten Hag out. Who's going to come in? You know what I mean? Who you going? I've heard Carrick. Carrick is at Middlesbrough. He has 200,000 followers on Twitter compared to 60 million of United. The
You know
pressure is
what?
not the same.
Carrick
And they're
might be a
10th
good
in
coach,
the
but not
championship.
yet. Yeah,
Not
you know what
yet,
I
man.
mean?
It's
Not
it's not
yet.
it's not enough. So at this point, you know that Ten Hag is gonna suck. That's okay. You know what I mean? At this point, you gotta realize that. You already gotta realize what's happening. You're not gonna make it to the Champions League. You're not gonna probably not even gonna make it to the Europa League. You just got
They're
to
not
deal
they're
with it.
they're not better than any of the teams ahead of them, especially if they don't get healthy. What I don't understand, and I wish I had a United fan on here, is like, how do we explain Johnny Evans playing ahead of Rafael Varane? I don't get it. Like,
No,
I
yeah, that's
like
crazy.
Johnny Evans. I don't get it. I think
Uh,
my thinking is this, is that he wants Maguire in the side, but doesn't want to play him on the left, and Varane can't play on the left. So instead, he weakens both spots by playing Harry Maguire right-footed on the right side, and then Johnny Evans left-footed on the left side, because he wants that left foot, the side of a foot playing on each side. Now, I don't
right.
know. I think Johnny Evans is left-footed. I don't know, but he can play a ball. Varane can't really.
Yeah,
He's
but
not
you
known
can't
for
put
his
him
ball.
over Verando, man. I think that's
I
just
know it
that's
doesn't make
just
any sense.
and on top of that too, uh taking out Hoyland, like, why would you do that? Like, some Ten Hag is just killing me,
It's
man. Because
weird, man. It is weird.
everywhere I go, I'm like, y'all need to keep Ten Hag because this, and that, and then he screws up again, and then you can't, because if you tell him if you tell people that he needs to stay, then you're justifying the bull crap he's doing on the pitch. You know what I mean? And it's just
Yeah,
it's nonsense what he does.
yeah,
Nonsense. You know what I mean?
yeah. I
Apparently,
just
there's a rumor
just
of the
check.
manager.
Johnny Evans is not left-footed. He is right-footed. Just to
Apparently, there's a rumor of the manager before this manager in charge of Man United. I don't know who
I don't
was
know.
that. Nothing about Man United makes sense. Yeah, no, not really.
Well,
And to be
I've
because I debated
gotten
on
more.
I
No, go
debated
ahead.
on another channel, and I said, look, Newcastle's got a better clear path of winning the Premier League than Manchester United.
Yes, absolutely,
And people are
absolutely.
like, come on, man. No,
Go
that's a
through the
fact.
11. It's a
That's a
fact.
yeah, it's like they're they have a better chance. That's a remote chance,
And
but better than
also,
United's.
how this is the thing that blows my mind. How is it that you had Mike Ashley, the cheapest, worst owner in the division? He left that team for dead, right?
Yeah,
And then Amanda Stavely comes in, they bring in Ainsworth, and they turn the organization of Newcastle United around in 18 months. They get the manager right, they get the director of football right, they get the football operations right. What the fuck are Man United doing?
yeah,
How,
no,
like, if I'm a United fan, that's really where that pain comes in. Is like, how is that
that's
team? They were in,
insane.
they had the worst owners and they turned it around instantly. They got the manager right. They got the players right. They didn't even spend a
And
lot of money.
and on top of that, though, to be honest with you, people are like, I've been getting the comments. You know, the last video I made about Newcastle is going nuts
I
over
know you did great. 5,000, 6,000 views.
yeah
Fantastic.
6,000. So and people are like, yeah, but you got a whole state that backs you up. What the hell does that mean? Are we getting? Are they going to give us a Premier League at the end of the season? Are they giving us the Carabao Cup bonus? Are they giving us? Well, I don't know. Lewis said that they gave us a Newcastle referee. Maybe they're going to do that every week. So who is it? Who is getting paid? I mean, I want to know what that means because no matter how much money you have, you still got to go by the damn rules. Are they giving us matches? Like, what the hell is? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, the thing that, well, this is what I mean. It's the operation level. I don't know what the PIF does. It's the, the fund. Did they bring really good operators in who knew who to put in place, or did they
Yeah.
just ask people and do the right thing and go, who is the best executive to run a football club? And they identified Ainsworth out of Brighton, who had put that club on the map. And if you look at an interview, find Ainsworth, he's an incredible operator. He had worked at the FA, and instead of pussyfooting around and putting the wrong people and putting your cronies in, they found the best football man and paid him appropriately to run their club. That's what good football teams do,
Right.
unlike United, who are not. And they're still living on this dream, and they'll be in crisis because they're going to lose in Copenhagen. Mark it down. Put a bet on it. $50 on it. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to go on Bet USA. I promise you, they will lose to Copenhagen without a doubt, because that's a good team, and they're not good because they barely sweat out beating Fulham. Barely.
Lewis says Ole apparently is the favorite to come out. Hell no. It'd be the same thing. I read online the Pulse Coles is lining him up. Of course, everybody's lining up. Everybody would take Carrick as well, but they're none other than just Ole's. Hold on. Yaman says our club was gutted, but a lot of the players stayed the same. And look at how they perform now. That is true. A lot of these players are from the Ashley era. Bloody
Yeah,
Mike
that's what I'm saying.
Ashley,
Char,
Bloody Hate.
Giselle, Target's still there.
Yeah,
Longstaff's local. Dan Byrne wanted to come. He's not. He's nothing.
yeah.
He's just a regular dude.
I would love to see Mike actually buy by Manchester United. It shows how
He's
important background staff at a club are. Yeah, that
facts.
is that is true. That is true.
That is
Gamble responsibly. Oh yeah, well that is our that we need to fix. We need to work on that. You know what I mean?
can we talk about Liverpool now? Because I know you
Yeah,
got a Darwin Nunez take. Do you want to do your who do you got? You want to do our go to the week and heroes of the week?
yeah. We're gonna do donkey of the week. I want to call it that because it's harsh. You know what I mean? I think my donkey of the week is gonna be 100%. I have a few actually, but I think the biggest one of them all has been Arteta. I think
Oh,
he
you
just
stole mine.
no, I think donkey. Yeah, donkey of the week is Arteta. Man, he just dropped the ball, and Arsenal as well. Like we're gonna send that a statement.
I know,
Damn,
just
like a
awful.
statement, man.
The
What
thing is,
the
like,
hell is?
what are they trying to do? Do you know? Just recently came out. They apparently have a list of all the grievances and bad calls against them that they're going to bring to the
Nuts.
PGML to say you guys have an agenda against us.
And by the
Can you
way,
imagine this? Are they
PGML,
being run by Arsenal fan TV? Let's get Don
PG,
Robbie on the
look,
show.
PGMOL. What the? So Arsenal is the only team that gets apologizes, like that gets apologies. I'm sorry, like because all of a sudden, every time you look at a newspaper, it's Arsenal. We screwed up Arsenal. No, part two. We screwed up Arsenal. Part three. Like any other team. What about Wolves? That I will
Oh,
say this that were screwed for 2 weeks in a row. Once by playing.
I can't.
Let me rephrasing this. Once playing against Newcastle, not by Newcastle, because Newcastle they told, "Hey, penalty for you." They just kicked it. We're not going to do the Bielsa. We're not going to give it up. So, but other than that, it was a mistake by VAR and the referee. But what about
That's
Wolves? Do they not deserve a damn apology? So is it only Arsenal and
that's
not even
3 for
Liverpool
Gary
got it?
O'Neill, my favorite English manager now. After Graham
Yeah.
Potter has been
So
dismissed into the
who is
nether
your
region.
donkey of the week?
It was going to be Arteta. It's your boy Darwin Nunez.
Oh
My
my god.
donkey of the week is
I
the
have
donkey foot of Darwin Nunez and his donkey mustache
I've said this man before,
and his
man.
donkey hair. He looks like a donkey.
You
But
cannot
my
win
God,
the Premier League. I made up my mind. You cannot win the Premier League title with a Darwin Nunez because you just don't know. This might be the final, the Champions League final, and he will miss. And I'm telling you, the goal is like right
oh
here.
God,
And
he
I
missed.
don't know how. This is unbelievable to me. I don't know how he's managed to go across above the crossbar when you're under. Like the goal is right here. It's unbelievable, man.
It's
Uh,
what's it? Basically, once a game, if he starts, he will have a shot like that.
and he's been having to be fair, he's been scoring goals, but
Yeah, but
you
even the
can't count on
amazing
him.
goal he scored, he took a touch that sent it way wide, so that he had to make a ridiculous shot that
Yeah,
went 40 billion miles away.
yeah, you
He's
can't
just
count on him.
and the most Salah reaction is the best part. He's just like,
Oh yeah,
"What
no,
are
but
you
not only
doing?"
him, every all the teammates they were just like, oh my god, I cannot believe it. You know they got to be in the locker room telling them,
Oh
man, what
god,
the
I
they got to
love it. I
giving them
love it.
crap.
You know what he has to do? He has to change his look. He's got to cut his hair, get rid of the mustache, and like come as like a new person. Do the
And he
blonde
look,
hair. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like just go, be like, you know what? That guy misses goals. This guy doesn't.
except the hair, he looks like such a lethal striker.
I
You
know
know what I
he's got the
mean?
look.
Body type,
And
size, and
he
everything.
and the thing that's so frustrating about him is he is good. He does make the runs. He does get in positions. Like to miss that many shots, you got to be there, and he was
Yeah.
there. It's so frustrating.
So who's your star of the week? Who's the yeah,
Oh, my player of the week is definitely well. I got to go with Doku just because that's a City guy, and he was just incredible. Took over the league. Just we all have to hope that Pep does not coach his creativity out of him because you know how Pep is. He likes everything to be conformed into like a Pep box, and Doku's a little bit of a free spirit, and I want to make sure
yeah,
that he stays that. But aside, while he still is free Doku forever because that was amazing, and I hope he plays more and more this week.
free
And I
Dunker
think,
forever.
and I think City have young boys. It probably should be like I think
I
they're
will
already
say that
won
my
winning
best
group.
player,
So.
my star of the week is I'm going to think objectively. I think that Bruno Fernandez takes it because without that win,
Mm,
I mean that was going to be he came
mhm.
clutch and it was a terrific play. I mean, come on, he went
I got
inside.
I have one other shout out,
It's
even though they lost.
yeah.
Mohammed Kudos. Kudos Mohammed, whatever his name is. I don't want to
Actually,
look
I'm
it up.
sorry, I'm an idiot. That's not my moment of the week. I apologize. It has to be Luis Diaz. That was
Oh
incredible.
yeah,
That's
bueno, bueno,
football at
bueno.
its finest.
Yes,
Football
yes.
at its finest, right there.
Even
Yeah,
though
no.
it went in off his shoulder, the pass
Yeah.
from Elliott is killer though.
But I'm like, I was actually watching this. I was washing dishes, and I'm like, look, he looks like he's gonna score.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it just
But
was meant to be.
I have to give like a lot of respect to Luton. We have a bunch of teams. We had Bournemouth getting beat
True.
badly. My boys from Burnley getting destroyed. Luton of the four that are down there, because I really think it's only between the four, between Sheffield United, Burnley, Bournemouth, and Luton. Luton are the only ones that are like, yo, we're in the Premier League. Let's not mess around. We're going to play away. We're going to fight. We're going to ride our home crowd, and we're going to try and win this thing. That break, even though there was a mistake by Elliott when he dove in, was fantastic. I mean, the whole crowd goes up, three or four of them streaming forward, and to almost have that moment. The draw is good, but Luton really damaged
Yeah.
Liverpool. And I don't think, like to your point, they can't win the league with Darwin Nunez. They can't win if they don't win these games at home to relegation
Right.
teams. I mean,
Yeah.
City did lose to Wolves, but that was Wolves with Neto, right? Like
But
this
yeah,
is
that's
like,
a once. That's a once. And I mean, that's not gonna happen often.
yeah.
And Wolves is a much better. I mean, Luton is on the bottom of the shit, boy. And
But they at least they
no, they
have
had the gut.
spirit.
I mean, they tried. I mean, that goal was incredible.
So good.
But let's go with some comments before we finish off. Last
Mm.
season, we got an official apology from VAR, lost out of 6 points, and we would have had an easier Champions League group. I mean, it gives you lemons. You gotta make lemonade, man.
Everyone's team is hard done. I have
Exactly. We
I have a
need
list
to get
of
referees.
calls for City that hurt my soul more than anything in the world. Spurs 2019 Champions League quarterfinal, Raheem Sterling offside.
Yeah.
I can't even talk about it.
Lewis says he would probably do a better job. His
Oh,
nephew's
no,
currently
it's
ref.
hard. I think the thing
It was
it's super
yeah.
hard to be a referee. It's really
Because
freaking hard.
you have zero fans. No matter what you do,
Everybody
one
hates it.
side or the other is gonna hate you. It was an awful run of a play for Bruno. Goal though, kids level awful clearances. Shout out to you, Lewis. Everybody commenting, man. Just remember, Chris, the Newcastle game kicks off at 5:45.
Greenwich
Great.
Mean Time.
Oh, by the
That
way, we
early
will have
game.
the watch along. Not tomorrow's actually. So
Mm.
because I'll be at work, it'll be too early. Plus, I have to go pick up my wife from the airport.
Oh,
And
where's she coming?
but you can catch me on Judge Mo's channel tomorrow. We're doing. He invited me, so I'll be on there. But this weekend I'll do the Newcastle Bournemouth watch along. We'll do the preview. So keep an eye out. Both channels, the American Magpie and Top FCTV. We got it going on. So a
Let's
lot of stuff
let me
coming
just
for
do
this one too.
a quick rundown of the Champions League games just to make
Yeah.
sure we're aware. Dortmund, Newcastle, early game. Shakhtar and Barcelona. That's probably wrapped up. Porto, Antwerp, not a big deal. Lazio, Feyenoord. God, this Champions League group, they can't change this thing sooner. City play Young Boys at home. That'll be a win. Milan, PSG, massive game, especially
Yeah.
for Dortmund and Newcastle. You want Milan to win this? Is that right? I'm not sure. And then Atletico.
A tie would be better.
Okay, Celtic going to Atletico, where they almost beat them last time, and then a battle of Red Star versus RB Leipzig. Not that exciting. The other ones would be, like I said, on Wednesday, Copenhagen, Man United, Bayern, Galatasaray. That group is up in the air. Not for Bayern, but if Galatasaray gets something, that would be huge. Arsenal play Sevilla again. Nothing really exciting here. Let's just wait till we get to the group stages.
Right.
Because it's looking like it's getting wrapped up really soon.
We'll see
I
what
think the
happens.
only
I will do
Mm.
the post match though, the match
Okay.
review for Newcastle. So that's gonna be
Okay.
nice. And to see. Hopefully the Magpies will win. Must win. They came over here, did their job. We got to go over there and do our job. Take a win away.
You can beat.
At
They just got beat by Bayern 4-0.
yeah,
Harry Kane,
yeah,
15 goals in 10 games.
nuts. Yeah, but anyways, you will be. Please, I would appreciate it if you're watching. You will be redirected to Steffi TV. They're having a show, so just go over there. You can comment. Say that you got sent from Top FC TV to watch. You can leave afterwards, I guess. Stay there because they got good content as well. So you're going over there. Stay tuned. As soon as you get there, tell them you came from Top FC TV. And anyways, we will see you on the next stream. Please hit the bell for notifications, subscribe, and the bell is that way you get notified with time, what we're doing. So appreciate everybody. Enter your mind, Lewis, everybody that commented. I appreciate you. We will see you next time. Laurent, my brother, thank you.
No
We'll
problem.
see each other next time.